In a world full of stars and unknown dangers, Earth was a small blue dot. For years, scientists and leaders watched the skies, searching for signs of alien life. They knew that humanity needed to be ready. After many discussions, they decided to send a message to the universe. They wanted aliens to know, "We are ready for you." In a large control room filled with computers and screens, Dr. Sarah Lynn, the lead scientist, stood with her team. They were excited but nervous. "This is our chance," Sarah said. "We must make it clear that Earth can defend itself." The room buzzed with energy as they finalized the message. They filled it with important information about humans, our history, our technology, and what we had achieved. It was a powerful message, showing our strengths and our determination. Once everything was ready, they gathered around a huge satellite dish outside the building. The sky was dark, dotted with stars, just like the ones they hoped to reach. "On my count," Sarah said, her voice steady, "we will send the signal." Everyone held their breath. 3, 2, 1, send! A bright beam of light shot into the sky, carrying their message across the cosmos. The team cheered, feeling a rush of excitement. They had done it, but they also felt a twinge of fear. What if the message attracted the wrong kind of attention? What if hostile aliens came looking for trouble? As the signal traveled through space, it reached many different alien civilizations. In a distant part of the galaxy, a group of curious aliens called the Thraxians received the message. They were green, with big eyes and long limbs. The leader, Commander Zell, looked at the screen with wide eyes. "Humans say they are ready," he said. "We must learn more about them. Are they friend or foe?" Meanwhile, in another corner of the galaxy, the fierce gorlands, known for their strength and aggression, also picked up the signal. Their leader, General Zor, growled as he listened. "They think they can challenge us? We will show them their mistake." He began to gather his troops, ready to plan an attack. The universe was filled with excitement and fear as different alien races reacted to the message. Back on Earth, Sarah and her team monitored the responses. They were amazed to see that some alien groups wanted to talk and learn more about humans. "This could be the start of something great," one scientist said, hope shining in her eyes. They imagined a future where Earth was part of a galactic community. However, not everyone was friendly. News of the message spread quickly, and not all aliens were happy. Some saw it as a challenge and began to plan ways to attack. Sarah felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She knew they had to prepare for any outcome. "We must stay alert," she told her team. "We need to be ready for anything." Days turned into weeks as Earth waited for a response. The scientists continued their work, improving defenses and preparing for the unknown. They knew that the message had sent ripples across the galaxy, and now they were on the radar of many civilizations. One night, as Sarah looked up at the stars, she felt a mix of excitement and fear. She wondered if anyone out there was friendly or if danger lurked in the darkness. But she knew one thing for sure: humanity was ready. They had sent a clear message to the stars, and now it was time to see what would come back. As she returned to the control room, Sarah felt a sense of determination. Whatever happened next, Earth would stand strong. The universe was vast and full of surprises, and they were prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. After sending their bold message into the stars, Earth awaited a response. Days turned into weeks, and scientists and leaders were filled with hope and worry. They knew that their words could attract both friends and enemies. Little did they know that soon the first allies would come forward. In a brightly lit control room, Dr. Sarah Lynn and her team monitored the incoming signals. One morning, a message flashed across the screens. It was from the Thraxians, the curious aliens who had received Earth's signal. Commander Zell's voice echoed through the room. "We wish to meet with you, humans. We want to learn and share." Sarah's heart raced with excitement. This was their chance to make a friend. She quickly organized a video conference. When the screen lit up, Sarah saw Zell's large eyes staring back at her, filled with curiosity. "Hello, Commander Zell. We welcome you to Earth," she said, smiling. Zell responded with a series of gestures and sounds, which the translators worked quickly to decode. "Your message shows strength. We want to understand you better. Together we can face the Gorlands." Sarah felt a chill at the mention of the Gorlands. "Yes, we know they may not be friendly," she replied. "But we believe that together we can protect our worlds." The Thraxians were eager to meet in person, so plans were made for their arrival on Earth. Excitement filled the air as people prepared for the visit. Scientists cleaned labs while diplomats practiced their speeches. Everyone wanted to make a good impression. When the day came, a fleet of Thraxian ships descended from the sky. They were elegant and colorful, glowing in the sunlight. People gathered to watch as the ships landed softly on a vast field near the control center. Sarah and her team stood ready to greet their new allies. As Zell stepped off the ship, the crowd fell silent. The Thraxian looked different from humans, with green skin and elongated limbs, but there was a warmth in his expression. "We come in peace," he declared. The crowd erupted into applause, and Sarah felt a wave of relief wash over her. During their time together, humans and Thraxians exchanged knowledge and culture. Sarah took Zell on a tour of Earth, showing him the wonders of nature, technology, and human creativity. In return, Zell shared stories of Thraxian art and science, revealing how they used technology to live in harmony with their planet. As the days passed, a friendship blossomed. The Thraxians helped Earth scientists improve their defenses, showing them advanced methods of protection. They also shared valuable strategies for facing the gorlands. Sarah felt hopeful. If they could unite, they could stand strong against any threat. But just as things seemed to be going well, another message arrived. It was from a different alien race, the Corthans. They were known for their advanced technology and military power. Their leader, General Farah, demanded to meet. "We have seen your alliance with the Thraxians. We wish to discuss a partnership," the message said. Sarah felt uneasy, but knew that the Corthans could be a valuable ally. "We must be cautious," she told her team. But this could also be an opportunity. Plans were made for the Corthan delegation to visit Earth. When they arrived, they appeared powerful and imposing. General Farah was tall with a commanding presence. "We want to help you humans, but we expect loyalty in return," she stated firmly. Sarah listened carefully, weighing her options. She knew that accepting their help might come with strings attached. "We appreciate your offer, General Farah, but trust must be earned," she replied, standing her ground. Over the following days, humans and Corthans worked together to build a framework for their alliance. They held discussions about defense strategies and joint operations against the gorlands. While Sarah felt uncertain, she knew they had to be smart and cautious. As the episode drew to a close, Earth stood at a crossroads. They had made allies in the Thraxians and Corthans, but shadows of doubt lingered. Would these alliances help protect Earth from the looming threat of the gorlands, or would they lead to more danger? In the control room, Sarah looked up at the stars, feeling a mix of hope and fear. The universe was vast and unpredictable, but Earth was ready to face whatever came next, standing strong with its new allies. The day of the first meeting between humans and aliens had finally arrived. Excitement buzzed through the air as everyone prepared for this historic event. Dr. Sarah Lynn stood at the control center, her heart racing. She knew that this meeting could change everything for Earth. The Thraxians had been on Earth for several days, and now it was time to meet the Corthans face to face. Sarah looked at the clock. "They will arrive any moment," she said, glancing at her team. Everyone nodded, anticipation written on their faces. As the sun began to set, a fleet of Corthan ships descended from the sky, casting long shadows over the ground. They looked sleek and powerful, glimmering with metallic colors. Sarah took a deep breath. She hoped this meeting would go well. When the ships landed, a ramp extended and General Farah stepped out, her tall figure imposing and fierce. She was followed by a group of Corthan officers. The humans stood in a line, feeling a mix of awe and fear. Sarah stepped forward to greet the general. "Welcome to Earth, General Farah. We are honored to have you here." Farah nodded but kept her expression serious. "We come to discuss how we can work together. The gorlands are a threat to us all." Her voice was firm, and the humans felt the weight of her words. As they walked into the meeting hall, tension filled the room. The Thraxians sat on one side, their green skin glowing softly under the lights. The Corthans took their seats across from them, looking strong and ready for action. Sarah sat in the middle, trying to ease the tension. "Let us begin," Sarah said, hoping to create a friendly atmosphere. She presented Earth's plan for defense, showing maps and strategies on a large screen. "Together we can create a powerful force against the gorlands." As she spoke, she watched the reactions of both sides. The Thraxians seemed interested, nodding at each point. However, the Corthans remained quiet, their eyes scanning the data with skepticism. Farah leaned forward. "Your plans are good, but we need more than just words. We want action." The room fell silent. Sarah felt the pressure. "We are ready to work together, General. But we must build trust first. Can we agree on joint training exercises?" Farah considered this. "Training is important, but we need to show strength immediately. The Gorlands will not wait for us to become allies." Just then, a warning alarm rang out. A red light flashed on the control panel, and Sarah's heart dropped. "What's happening?" she asked, turning to her team. A technician rushed to the screen. "We've detected Gorland ships approaching. They're moving fast." The tension in the room soared. General Farah stood up, her eyes fierce. "We must prepare for battle. This is what we were afraid of." Sarah felt a mix of fear and determination. "We need to work together right now. Thraxians, Corthans, we must combine our forces." She turned to her team. "Get the defense systems ready. We need to protect Earth." In a matter of minutes, the meeting hall transformed into a command center. Humans, Thraxians, and Corthans worked side by side, their differences momentarily forgotten. Each race brought their unique strengths. The Thraxians used their advanced technology to enhance the Earth's defenses, while the Corthans prepared for combat. As the ships appeared on the radar, Sarah coordinated the response. "Thraxians, you take the left flank. Corthans, focus on the right. I'll lead the human forces in the center." The Corthans prepared their weapons, and the Thraxians adjusted their ships. They were ready for battle. As the first Gorland ships entered the atmosphere, a wave of fear swept over the team. But Sarah felt a spark of hope. "Together we can do this!" The battle began, with blaster fire lighting up the sky. The Gorlands attacked fiercely, but Earth and its new allies fought back with courage. Sarah watched as the Thraxians darted through the air, their ships gliding gracefully while the Corthans fired powerful blasts from their vessels. As the fight raged on, the humans showed bravery beyond their own expectations. They stood firm, ready to protect their planet. In the chaos, a sense of unity began to form among the three races. After what felt like hours, the Gorlands retreated, realizing they had underestimated their opponents. Cheers erupted in the command center, but Sarah knew this was just the beginning. They had faced a challenge together and emerged victorious. As the dust settled, Sarah looked at her allies. They had taken their first step into a new era, one where humans, Thraxians, and Corthans could stand together. And in that moment, she felt the bonds of friendship beginning to grow. After their first battle against the Gorlands, Earth, Thraxian, and Corthan forces celebrated their victory. But deep down, Dr. Sarah Lynn sensed that something was not right. The alliance seemed strong on the surface, but she could feel tension brewing among the Corthans. Days passed, and Sarah was busy at the control center reviewing data from the battle. She noticed some unusual patterns in the Gorland's attack strategies. The Gorland seemed to know exactly where to strike. It puzzled her. Why would they attack here first? She wondered. One evening, while she was working late, Sarah received a message from Commander Zell. "Sarah, we need to talk. I have concerns about the Corthans." The words made Sarah's heart race. She had been feeling uneasy about the Corthans, too. They agreed to meet in a secure room at the control center. As Sarah entered, she saw Zell pacing back and forth. "I've been reviewing the data from the battle," he said. The Corthans were too organized. They knew exactly what to do. Sarah nodded, sharing her own observations. "Yes, I noticed that too. It's almost as if they expected the Gorlands to attack." They both paused, thinking about the implications of this. "What if the Corthans have their own agenda?" Zell asked, his voice low. "What if they are playing both sides?" The idea sent a shiver down Sarah's spine. "We need to find out more about them," she said firmly. "But how can we do that without raising suspicion?" Together, they decided to gather more information discreetly. Sarah reached out to her team, asking them to look for any unusual activities among the Corthans. Meanwhile, Zell contacted Thraxian intelligence to see if they had any insight. Days turned into weeks, and the investigation began to reveal alarming secrets. Sarah discovered that the Corthans had been in contact with the Gorlands before the battle. They had made offers to trade technology, but the details were hidden in a coded message. "We need to decode this," Sarah exclaimed. "It could explain everything." Working late into the night, Sarah and her team managed to crack the code. The message revealed a shocking truth. The Corthans were planning to betray the Alliance. They aimed to weaken both the Thraxians and humans while secretly negotiating with the Gorlands for power and resources. "This is bad," Sarah whispered, her hands trembling. "They want to control us!" Determined to confront General Farah, Sarah and Zell arranged a meeting. They knew this would be dangerous, but they couldn't let the Corthans proceed with their plan. As they entered the meeting room, tension filled the air. General Farah was waiting, her expression unreadable. "Thank you for coming," Farah said, her voice calm. "What is it you wish to discuss?" "We need to talk about your recent communications," Sarah replied, her voice steady despite her fear. "We know about your plans with the Gorlands." Farah's eyes narrowed. "You have no proof," she said coolly. "You are making serious accusations." Zell stepped forward. "We decoded your message. It reveals your intentions to betray the Alliance. You aim to weaken us and align with the Gorlands." For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Farah laughed, but it was cold and harsh. "You are clever, but you think too small. Joining the Gorlands is the path to true power. You are naive to think that we would need you." Sarah felt a rush of anger. "We fought together! You cannot turn your back on us now. This will only lead to destruction." Farah stood tall, her eyes flashing with defiance. "I will not be stopped by weakness. I will ensure my people survive, even if it means sacrificing yours." The weight of Farah's words hung in the air, and Sarah felt a wave of determination. "We will not allow this betrayal. We will expose you for what you are." As they left the meeting, Sarah turned to Zell. "We need to warn the Thraxians and prepare for a fight. We cannot trust the Corthans anymore." Zell nodded, a fire igniting in his eyes. "We will unite our forces against them. The Gorlands may be a threat, but the Corthans are now our enemy." With the truth unveiled, Sarah and Zell knew they faced a new battle. They would have to rally their allies and prepare for the confrontation that awaited them. The alliance they had fought so hard to build now hung by a thread, and they were determined to protect Earth and their friends. The tension was palpable as Sarah Lynn and Commander Zell raced against time to prepare for the coming conflict. They had just uncovered the Corthans' treachery, and now they had to unite the humans and Thraxians to face a potential betrayal from within their ranks. The stakes had never been higher. Sarah gathered her team at the control center. "We need to act quickly," she said, her voice steady. "The Corthans plan to align with the Gorlands, and if we don't stop them, our alliance could crumble." Zell stood beside her, his expression serious. "We must inform General Harak of the Thraxians. If they join us, we can counter any attack from the Corthans. But we have to be careful. We can't let Farah know we're onto her." The team set to work. They prepared a plan to approach General Harak and present the evidence of Corthan betrayal. Meanwhile, Sarah worked on fortifying Earth's defenses, knowing they would need every advantage against both the Corthans and the Gorlands. The next day, Sarah and Exel met with General Harak in a secure location. Harak listened carefully as they explained the situation. They showed him the decoded messages that revealed Farah's plans. The Thraxian general's eyes widened as he read the evidence. "This is troubling," he said. "I had hoped for a strong alliance, but it seems we must be ready for betrayal." "Exactly," Sarah replied. "We need to strengthen our forces. We can fight against the Gorlands, but we must also keep an eye on the Corthans." Harak nodded, his expression determined. "We will prepare our troops and share this information with our commanders. We cannot allow Farah to succeed. We will stand with you, humans." With the Thraxians on their side, Sarah felt a surge of hope. The next few days were filled with preparation. They trained together, humans and Thraxians side by side, learning each other's tactics and strengths. They became a formidable team, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But in the shadows, Farah was not idle. She had her own plans to crush this new alliance. She gathered her Corthan forces, speaking to them with passion. "The humans and Thraxians think they can betray us and survive," she declared. "But we will show them the true power of the Corthan people. We will take what is rightfully ours." Her words stirred anger and fear in her troops, and they agreed to follow her lead. Farah sent out spies to gather intelligence on the humans and Thraxians, plotting their attack. She wanted to strike when they least expected it. Meanwhile, Sarah and Zell received news that the Corthans were moving their ships into position. "They're going to attack!" Zell exclaimed, his face tense. "We have to warn everyone and prepare for battle." The alliance met at the command center. Sarah addressed the combined forces of humans and Thraxians. "The Corthans plan to betray us. We must be ready to defend ourselves and protect our home. We have trained together, and now we will fight together." Cheers erupted from the crowd. The Thraxians and humans stood united, determined to face the Corthan threat. As the alarm sounded, they moved into position. ready to defend their alliance. When the Korthan ships appeared on the horizon, the atmosphere was electric. Farah's forces advanced, and a fierce battle broke out. Blaster fire filled the air, and the sky lit up with explosions. Sarah fought bravely alongside her team, leading the humans with courage. "Stay together!" she shouted, coordinating their movements. The Thraxians fought valiantly, using their advanced technology to fend off the Korthans. The two races worked seamlessly, supporting each other as they pushed back against the enemy. Just when it seemed the battle would tip in favor of the Korthans, Sarah saw an opening. She turned to Zell. "Let's flank them from the left." Together, they led a daring maneuver, catching the Korthans by surprise. The tide of the battle began to shift. Farah's forces faltered as the humans and Thraxians pressed forward. "We can't let them win!" Farah yelled, but her troops were losing morale. In a final push, Sarah and Zell confronted Farah directly. "It's over, Farah!" Sarah shouted. "You cannot betray us and expect to win!" Farah, realizing her plans had failed, ordered a retreat. The Korthans fled, leaving the humans and Thraxians victorious. Cheers erupted as the Alliance celebrated their hard-fought victory. With the Korthans defeated, Sarah knew this was the beginning of a new era. The humans and Thraxians had forged a strong bond, united by their struggle against betrayal. Together, they would face whatever the universe had in store for them. As Sarah looked at her friends and allies, she felt hope for the future. "Together we are stronger than ever," she said, and they all cheered, ready to face the adventures that lay ahead.